Hello, fellow builders, and welcome back to the bench and happy Star Wars Day. That's right, it's May 4th, 2021. May the Force be with you all. Hopefully, you're having a good Star Wars Day and celebrating it in a way befitting of the way you enjoy your Star Wars. Reading a book, watching a movie, taking in a video, or catching up on the Bad Batch, should be releasing today. There's probably going to be a lot of new Star Wars, hopefully, if we're lucky, new Star Wars content and information out there. And so we're going to make this a real short video on the uh, Alphabet Squad base so you can get to all the rest of the Star Wars stuff. So, without further ado, let's get to it. We find ourselves at a crossroads. I feel like I'm where I need to be with this for the most part, but I'm just missing a few little elements. So let me catch up to speed. I'm trying to sell a story. I want you to be able to look at this and go, ah, that's what's going on there. So we're missing some detail like right in here, right? We needed a walkway. Well, I need you to get closer. Come over here. Here, let me help you. Okay, so like I was saying, we needed some detail like right in this area. So I thought, okay, there needs to be a passageway. So I made a passageway. All right. And then I thought, well, I wanted some kind of control area up here, right? Something to, like an observation deck or whatever, because that's kind of the whole thing of being on a command ship or a space station, being able to see out into space. That's kind of the beauty shot, you know? So I printed this guy up, right? So this here, it looks like a harmonica, I know. But that can be our command deck. It's big enough to where you could have like ops here in the middle and some quarters off to the side, and then you could have some stuff back in the back behind there. I mean, it just gives that impression. But you need to connect this to that to this. So I printed a little elevator shaft, right? So let's put the little elevator shaft in there. All right. Kind of center everything up. Snug everything down. Boom. Okay? Yeah, we'll level it up. Oh, get it all level. Oh, you know what? Is it the camera? It might be the camera. Okay, so in my mind, now it's looking like a thing. I mean, I'm like, oh, okay, I can see people, you know, those are the windows, and it actually gives some kind of scale there. I'm like, okay. So I guess I'm ready. I'm ready to move to the next step, but I'm just apprehensive. I feel like I'm missing something. But we're going to move forward. We're going to go ahead and put a primer coat on this. We're not going to... We'll put the primer coat down first, and we'll paint these pieces separately. And then go from there. See where we are. I know this deck surface here is going to be, if possible, gloss black, because for whatever reason the Imperials like gloss black floors. So let's see if we can sell this story. Well, we got the primer coat on there, and that's when I realized what I was missing. The problem was that half of this model is production model, which is the part down here, and the other half of it is 3D printing. Now, if it was just the production half, I would have been perfect to go straight into the priming, painting process. But since half of it was 3D printed, once I put my primer on here, all the bondoed surfaces stuck out like a sore thumb. This isn't that bad because I printed this at a finer level than I did the rest of this, but you could see all the grid lines here, and actually this here, I went on ahead and bondoed and sanded this and put a primer coat on that. So this part is fine. So now we just have to sand this deck, then we can reprime, and we'll be ready to go with our gloss black. But we got to get this sanded first. Okay, so we're going to use some black Plasti Dip on this surface down here, and what it's going to do for me is it's going to help. It's fairly smooth now. It's not perfect, and I don't want it to be perfect. I want it to maybe look like there was a battle here, and it was a little bent, and it's been run down a little bit, and they're just kind of taking it back over. But we need to get this surface covered, get some paint on it, get some primer on it, get some gloss black on it, and then we're going to cover it up with some masking tape so we can get the rest of this part painted. Well, fellow builders, forgot something else. So and I don't know what I was thinking, but when I taped this off, I just meant to, I've got this front edge at like a 45 degree angle. And that's where I should have run my tape line, right where it is now. For some reason I had my tape line way up here. And so when I did my bondo, I bondoed all this. And then it dawned on me, uh-oh, you need to peel the tape back. And when I peeled the tape back, this whole front edge was unbondoed. So now we wait again. Oh joy, more sanding. You've seen enough sanding. Let's just get this thing finished painted and move on to the next step. Shall we? Thank you for your kind compliance. And now, we wait. Once the base coat was dry, I covered it up with masking tape so we could get our primary base color on here. Now, this is a Tamiya medium sea gray, number 2. And that, it's not like the regular like primer gray. It's got, I like the tone that we're getting here. And down here I tried to make sure I got it coated real well. Up here we get a lot of shadowing, a lot of texture. These are the spots where normally I would have bondoed, because there's like a diagonal texture there, and I want to leave that texturing there. It's going to be in direct contrast with the flat sheet of styrene that's going to go here. We're at the point where I want to get some weathering done, but before we can get any weathering done, we need to add our little pieces in here. So that's what we've been working on. So you've got turret here, turret here. Got this accent piece here. It's going to go there. Our holographic emitter is going to go there. I still have to get my shield generator, so we're going to, one will be here, one will be here, and we also have our pipe. It's going to go there. So I still have the tops of the turret towers. They're in the other room. I'll get those. But this is where we're going. Once I get all these glued down, we're going to be able to do a weathering pass on this. And then we're going to be able to get the lights installed. But I think this is probably going to be a good place for us to stop for the moment. See, I told you I'd find the turret tops. One thing I want to change on these is I don't want to glue it down. I like the ability. It already has the ability to be able to move the guns up and down. I think that's great. And I could certainly just set it on top of the turret and it would turn side to side, but it would just pop off if somebody bumped it wrong or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out a way to put it on there to where it'll stay at least secure down. Maybe put a couple of magnets on there or something. I keep saying I'm going to use magnets, and that doesn't happen or it hasn't happened yet. But this might actually be one time that we might get to make that work. I want to thank you for spending a little bit of your Star Wars day with me. And go and enjoy your Star Wars day. Me personally, I can safely say I've never really celebrated Star Wars Day, because in my mind, any day that I can read Star Wars or build Star Wars models or touch it in some way, it's Star Wars Day to me. It's kind of is what I do. So that being the case, go out, enjoy your Star Wars Day, have fun, be safe, go build something. Pew 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 pew.